Do you know that? Around 85% of worldwide populations struggle with self-esteem, self-confidence. So if you also relate this, then I tell you some 7 tips of boosting confidence for your empowerment. Let's start the video. Join me as I take on the challenge of boosting my confidence using these 7 simple tips for self-empowerment. Self-empowerment, it's a phrase that gets tossed around a lot, but what does it really mean? To me, self-empowerment is about taking control of our own lives, our own thoughts, and our own emotions. It's about believing in ourselves and our abilities, and not letting external factors dictate our self-worth. When we're self-empowered, we're more confident, more resilient, and more likely to take risks and pursue our passions. One of the biggest challenges people face when it comes to self-confidence is negative self-talk. You know, that constant voice in your head that's always criticizing, always doubting, always telling you that you're not good enough. It's a hard habit to break, but it's essential if we want to build real confidence. Another challenge is external influences. Whether it's social media, our friends and family, or society at large, there are always people and forces trying to tell us who we should be and what we should do. The key is to learn how to tune them out and tune in to our own inner voice. We also tend to compare ourselves to others, which is a surefire way to kill our confidence. I mean, there's always going to be someone who's smarter, prettier, or more successful than us. But the truth is, we're not in competition with anyone else. We're in competition with ourselves, and we should be striving to be the best version of ourselves every day. And finally, we have to deal with fear and self-doubt. It's natural to feel scared or unsure when we're trying something new or taking a risk, but we can't let those feelings hold us back. So, how do we overcome these challenges and start building real confidence? That's what the rest of this video is all about. I've got 7 simple tips for self-empowerment that I want to share with you, and I'm excited to dive in. Tip number 1 is to practice positive affirmations. This is a game changer, guys. When we repeat positive affirmations to ourselves, we start to rewire our brains and build new neural pathways. It's a powerful way to combat negative self-talk and start believing in ourselves. Tip number 2 is to set achievable goals and celebrate our successes. When we set goals that are too big or too vague, we set ourselves up for failure. But when we set small, achievable goals and celebrate our successes, we build momentum and confidence. Tip number 3 is to surround ourselves with positive influences. This is huge, guys. The people we surround ourselves with have a huge impact on our self-confidence and self-worth. Tip number 4 is to practice self-care and prioritize our own needs. When we take care of ourselves physically, emotionally, and mentally, we feel more confident and more empowered. Tip number 5. The 5th tip is to take calculated risks and step outside our comfort zones. This is where the real growth happens. When we challenge ourselves to do something we've never done before, we realize that we're capable of more than we thought. The 6th tip is to focus on our strengths rather than our weaknesses. This helps us to build confidence in our abilities and stop worrying about what we can't do. And the 7th tip is to practice gratitude and self-reflection. This helps us to appreciate what we've accomplished and identify areas where we need to improve. Out of all these tips, the one that has had the most impact on my life, is setting small, achievable goals and celebrating my successes. For me, it's about building momentum and reinforcing the idea that I'm capable of achieving my goals. When I achieve something, no matter how small it may seem, I feel a sense of pride and confidence that I can carry with me into my next challenge. And I remember this one time when I set a goal to write an entire chapter of a book in one sitting. It was a big goal, but I broke it down into smaller, manageable tasks, and before I knew it, I had accomplished it. And that feeling of accomplishment and pride was amazing. So let's recap these 7 simple tips for self-empowerment. Practice self-care, set small, achievable goals, surround yourself with positive influences, practice mindfulness and meditation, take calculated risks, focus on your strengths, and practice gratitude and self-reflection. These tips are not meant to be a one-time fix, but rather a journey towards building confidence and self-improvement. Thanks for watching.